Another pretty good day of training. Unfortunately, the hand balancing was just not really there today. Though looking at it, these Ido Portal push-ups were pretty good. When it gets into the press handstand a little bit later, that's when it kind of fell apart. Now, this is what I'm talking about. I'm trying to do the press handstand. I used to be really quite good at it, but I'm just a little bit out of practice, mainly focusing on bent arm skills. But here, looking at it, I can see that I'm not pushing the hips into alignment right. But I also do not want to, get that really heavy arched back. I'm trying to push the shoulders into alignment first before getting it, but I just was not really able to stick the handstand throughout the practice. So looking at the form, I should be able to adjust later on and hopefully improve the next time. But I feel like it's mainly due to the cold not really letting me to really warm up properly to get into some hand balancing. But here's just a little bit of a footwork before I get into the nighttime stretching kind of routine. This is active middle splits that I'm trying to work on. Eventually, you probably could guess that I'm trying to get all the way down into full middle splits. I can get calves to the ground if I am using some support from my hands. And hopefully I can get some support from you guys to either hit the like button, comment, or subscribe. All those things really help out the channel, so thank you guys for that. And I'm really going to probably stick with this over the passive middle splits for a little bit, because I can get my calves to the ground, and flexibility builds a lot slower than strength. So I'll be focusing on the strength in the middle splits for a little bit of time, because it's pretty easy to get into and work on. And then I get into another pretty pathetic handstand press. But nevertheless, training every single day, it's very important for what I think to have a really vigorous lifestyle. And I then work on some pseudo planche push-ups, very good for building up pushing strength. When you put your hands towards your base of support, you end up pushing more weight. So I took this all the way to failure, even though this was quite an intense exercise. Failure doesn't seem to be too fatiguing as it would with a more calibrated exercise like weights, that you can really push it all the way to the end. But the technical challenge also makes it very easy to keep your fatigue semi-low. And then onto the real nighttime stretching, the real stretching section, is to get into some regular splits, scissor splits, both sides, and then I get into the bridge work. I'm really quite happy with how the bridges have turned out. I had a little bit of a setback when I tried to straighten my arms out, because I used to not straighten my arms really when it came to the bridge. And I feel that led to a little injury or an imbalance in the shoulders that I feel has really gone away, and I'm feeling a lot better in the bridge than I used to. And I'm able to get not only this kind of push-up like I'm doing right here, but then I get into kind of a different push-up that I do here, where I kind of lean forward, similar to the pseudo planche push-up, but in the bridge position. And I feel like this is a really good way to build mobility in the back and in the spine. And I really liked it. Here, I'm working the 90-90 position. When it comes to the ground stretching, Cador Ziani has really good animal flows, very inspirational and intelligent athlete when it comes to a vigorous lifestyle and longevity and securing the joints. Now, when it comes to a lot of these stretching, I'm working on the overhead mobility portion along with this butterfly stretch. The overhead mobility is quite challenging to get your hands over your head while sitting or squatting. It really engages a lot of some muscles that don't seem to get worked in any other kind of movement. Now, I think I've been hitting the overhead mobility kind of tough recently, so I might take a step back in the future. But thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys got inspired to move and improve.